All right, so you've got this big interview coming up for an aviation communications and frequency coordination manager position.
It's a mouthful, right?
It is. It
It's
is.
a pretty specialized role.
Yeah, I bet you're wondering what kind of questions they'll throw at you.
We're here to help you nail it.
We are. We are.
We've got some great resources from RoleCatcher.
Oh, yeah, they've really broken down this career path.
Yeah, not just the skills you need, but they even have sample questions with tips on how to answer them.
Before we get into the interview questions, though,
Sure.
I think it would be helpful to kind of understand what these managers actually do day to day.
Yeah, what's the day in the life like?
Yeah. What does the career guide say about that?
Well, it's more than just radios and headsets, you know? Think of it like this.
Like,
You're responsible for making sure that every message, every critical piece of information gets where it needs to go in the aviation world.
wow.
And that could be between pilots and air traffic control,
Okay.
airlines and maintenance crews, even government agencies.
So you're like the central nervous system of the airport,
Exactly.
making sure everything is running smoothly.
You're overseeing projects,
Yeah.
maybe implementing new communication systems,
Right.
managing budgets, making sure everything is up to code
Right.
and running smoothly. And when things go wrong, guess what?
What?
You're the one they called to troubleshoot.
Oh, boy. That sounds like a lot of responsibility.
It is. But you know what? The career guide also highlights the rewards of this job.
Oh, okay.
You're working with cutting-edge tech.
Yeah.
You are directly impacting safety, and the work environment is constantly evolving.
So it's dynamic.
Dynamic, there's always something new to learn.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we've got a sense of what the job entails.
All right,
Let's dive into those interview questions.
let's do it.
RoleCatcher has provided 10 common ones,
10 of them.
and I think going through them will really help our listeners prepare.
Absolutely. Let's start with the first one. Can you walk us through your experience with frequency coordination?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This is where you really want to showcase your expertise.
Don't just list off your past.
No.
Yeah.
Well, think of specific projects where you had to coordinate frequencies.
Okay.
What were the challenges? Maybe you had to negotiate with different stakeholders or overcome technical limitations.
Right.
How did you approach those situations and what were the results?
Yeah, they're really looking for concrete examples of your problem-solving skills here.
Exactly. And be prepared for follow-up questions they might ask you to elaborate on a specific challenge.
Okay.
Or dig deeper into the technical aspects of the project.
That makes sense. Let's move on to question 2.
All right, number 2.
How do you ensure effective communication between air traffic control and pilots?
That seems like a pretty core part of the job.
It does. It does.
This is where you demonstrate your deep understanding of communication systems and protocol. Talk about the different technologies you've worked with, your ability to troubleshoot issues, and how you ensure clear communication even in those high-pressure situations.
So being able to explain complex technical concepts in a way that anyone can understand is key here.
It is absolutely, they'll be looking for clarity and conciseness in your response.
Got it.
And you might also want to touch on how you stay up to date on the latest communication technologies and regulations.
That's a good point. The career guide emphasizes the importance of continuous learning in this field.
Absolutely. All right, now the next question gets into the nitty-gritty of the job.
Okay.
How do you manage the frequency allocation process for aviation operations?
This sounds like it requires a deep understanding of the regulatory landscape.
It does. You'll need to demonstrate your knowledge of the rules and regulations governing frequency allocation.
Okay.
Be prepared to give specific examples of how you've allocated frequencies in the past, ensuring fairness and compliance.
And I imagine there can be conflicts or competing demands when it comes to allocating frequencies.
Absolutely. They might ask you how you handle those situations.
Right.
So think about a time when you had to resolve a conflict related to frequency allocation.
Okay.
How did you approach the problem? Who did you involve? What was the outcome?
It sounds like they're really trying to gauge your ability to balance technical expertise with diplomacy and conflict resolution.
Exactly. Now, question 4 focuses on staying current in the field.
All right.
How do you stay current with industry trends and regulations related to aviation communications?
That's a big one. This is where you get to show off your passion for the industry.
Right. Do you attend conferences, subscribe to industry publications?
How?
Are you a part of any professional organizations? Mention any certifications you hold or training courses you've taken?
It's all about demonstrating your commitment to continuous learning and staying ahead of the curve.
You got it. Now, question 5 is a big one. How do you ensure compliance with aviation communication regulations?
This is where you demonstrate your understanding of the importance of following the rules.
Absolutely. You need to convince them that you have a system in place to stay on top of regulations, conduct audits, and ensure that your team is always operating within the guidelines.
It sounds like they're looking for someone who is detail-oriented and takes compliance very seriously.
They are. And question 6 throws a bit of a curveball. How do you manage conflicts related to frequency interference?
This sounds like a real-world problem-solving scenario.
It is. They want to see how you approach a technical challenge that requires both technical knowledge and interpersonal skills.
So what kind of example could you give for this one?
Think of a time when you had to identify and resolve a frequency interference issue.
Okay.
Maybe there was interference from another communication system or a technical malfunction.
Right.
Walk them through the steps you took to diagnose the problem, the solutions you implemented, and the stakeholders you collaborated with.
They're looking for a clear and concise explanation of your problem-solving process and how you worked with others to find a solution.
Exactly. Now, question 7 tests your ability to handle high-pressure situations.
Uh-oh.
How do you manage communication during emergency situations?
This is where you showcase your ability to stay calm and think clearly under pressure.
Right. Have you ever had to activate emergency communication protocols? Maybe you've participated in drills or simulations.
Yeah?
Talk about your experience and highlight your ability to maintain communication channels and ensure that critical information gets relayed quickly and accurately.
They'll be looking for someone who can handle the stress of an emergency and make sound decisions under pressure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Question 8 delves into technology management.
Yeah.
How do you manage communication technology upgrades for aviation operations?
This is where your project management skills come into play.
Right. Walk them through your process for assessing needs, evaluating solutions, planning the implementation, and managing the transition to new technologies.
And be prepared to discuss any challenges you've encountered during technology upgrades and how you overcame them.
Exactly. The key is to showcase your ability to manage complex projects, anticipate potential problems, and find creative solutions. Now, question 9 broadens the scope a bit.
Okay.
How do you manage communication during international operations?
This requires a whole other level of knowledge and awareness,
It does.
considering different languages, regulations, and even cultural norms.
Right. Highlight any experience you have with coordinating with foreign aviation authorities,
Right.
working with international teams, or dealing with cross-cultural communication challenges.
And if you speak any other languages, definitely mention that here.
Absolutely. Demonstrating your ability to navigate the complexities of international communication will be a major plus.
Okay, and finally, question 10 focuses on leadership.
All right, bring it home.
How do you manage a team of aviation communication specialists?
This is where you showcase your leadership style and your ability to build and motivate a high-performing team.
Talk about your approach to communication delegation, conflict resolution, and fostering a positive and collaborative work environment.
And be prepared to give specific examples of how you've successfully led teams in the past, highlighting your ability to inspire, mentor, and empower others.
Remember, these are just examples, and the specific questions you get might vary.
They might.
But these underlying themes will be consistent.
Absolutely.
Now, going back to RoleCatcher for a moment.
Yes.
How can their AI platform help with preparing for these questions?
Oh, RoleCatcher's AI can be a game changer for interview prep. You can upload the job description, and it analyzes the keywords and skills they're looking for.
So it can help you tailor your answers to highlight the specific skills and experiences that are most relevant to this particular role.
Exactly. And it can also help you practice your answers and get feedback on your delivery.
Ooh, tell me more about that.
You can record yourself answering the questions and get AI-powered feedback on things like your pacing, your tone, clarity, and even your body language.
It's like having a virtual coach who can help you refine your presentation skills and boost your confidence.
Exactly. And the feedback is tailored to the specific job you're applying for, so you can be sure you're putting your best foot forward.
Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
In part 2, we'll explore some additional resources and tips from RoleCatcher that can help you prepare for this interview.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into preparing for that Aviation Communications and Frequency Coordination Manager interview.
In part 1, we really dug into those tough questions they might ask you.
We did.
But it's not just about knowing the right answers, is it?
You're right. It's about presenting yourself with confidence, being clear and concise, and showing them you're truly passionate about this field.
And that's where I think RoleCatcher's AI tools can be so helpful.
Yeah.
They don't just prep you on content.
Right.
They help you refine how you deliver those answers. which is huge in making a good impression.
It is. It's like having a personal coach helping you polish your communication skills.
Right.
But it's all powered by AI, and it's specifically tailored to the role you're applying for.
Speaking of tailoring, RoleCatcher's Career Guide also has these example profiles for different career stages in this role. Did you get a chance to look at those?
Did those profiles give you a glimpse into the career paths of successful professionals in this field?
Okay.
You can see how their responsibilities evolve the skills they emphasize and how they position themselves for advancement.
It's almost like having a roadmap showing you the different directions your career could take.
Right, and you can use those insights to tailor your answers and showcase your own potential.
Okay.
For example, if you see that leadership is a key focus for senior managers, you can make sure to highlight your leadership experiences and skills during the interview.
So how can someone use RoleCatcher to practice their answers and really nail that delivery?
Well, their AI feedback system is pretty amazing.
Okay.
You can record yourself answering those tough interview questions and get instant feedback.
What kind of feedback does it give?
It analyzes things like your pacing, your tone of voice, how clearly you're explaining things. It can even pick up on nervous habits or filler words.
Oh, wow. So it's like having a personal coach who analyzes your every word and gesture, helping you polish those presentation skills.
Exactly. And remember those keywords we talked about earlier?
Sure.
The ones that are specific to the job description?
Yeah.
The AI can actually suggest ways to incorporate those into your answers so you're really speaking in their language.
It's all about making those connections between your skills and what the employer is looking for.
Absolutely. And don't forget about your resume.
Oh, right. Your resume.
RoleCatcher's AI Resume Builder is another fantastic tool.
How does that work?
You upload your existing resume, and the AI analyzes it against the job description you're targeting.
Okay.
It highlights any areas where you might be missing key skills or qualifications.
Wow.
It can even suggest specific skills to add keywords to incorporate in formatting improvements.
So it's like having an expert recruiter give you personalized feedback on your resume?
Exactly. And in today's competitive job market, your resume is your first impression.
Yeah.
You want to make sure it's grabbing their attention.
Okay, we've talked about content delivery, even your resume.
We have.
But there's another aspect of interview success that's just as important.
Oh, yeah.
Mindset.
Mindset. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You can have all the right answers and the perfect delivery, but if you're not confident and enthusiastic, it won't matter.
It's about coming across as someone they'd actually want to work with.
Exactly. Remember, an interview is a conversation, not an interrogation.
Right.
They want to get to know you, understand your motivations, and see if you'd be a good fit for their team.
So go in with a positive attitude. Be genuinely interested in the role. And don't be afraid to let your personality shine through.
Here's a tip before the interview. Take some time to research the company.
Okay.
What are their values? What are their current projects? Having this background knowledge will not only help you ask thoughtful questions, but it also shows you're truly interested in the opportunity.
And remember how the career guide mentioned, this field is constantly evolving.
It is.
You can really impress them by talking about those emerging trends you're excited about.
For example, have you been following the developments in satellite communication?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe you're fascinated by the potential of AI to optimize communication networks.
Sharing those insights shows them you're not just looking for a job. You're looking to be a part of shaping the future of the industry.
Exactly. It's not just about the technology itself.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how those advancements will impact the industry and how you can contribute to their implementation.
I think the key takeaway here is to be prepared, be confident, and be yourself.
And remember, RoleCatcher is there to support you every step of the way.
They are.
Their AI tools and resources can help you refine your answers, polish your delivery, and gain a competitive edge in the job market.
So take a deep breath, trust in your abilities, and go ace that interview.
You got us.
We'll be back in part 3 to wrap things up with some final thoughts and tips to help you stand out from the competition. Yes. And land your dream job in aviation communications.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been walking you through everything you need to know to ace that aviation communications and frequency coordination manager interview.
We've covered the key questions, talked about leveraging RoleCatcher's AI for that extra edge, and even touched on the importance of mindset.
But before we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to talk about something that can really set you apart from other candidates.
Okay.
Showcasing your passion and standing out from the competition.
Right. It's one thing to have the skills and the experience.
Right.
But it's another to really convey that genuine enthusiasm for the field.
It's like if you were interviewing two candidates with similar qualifications.
Yes.
Who would you be more drawn to? The one who's just reciting answers?
Right.
Or the one whose eyes light up when they talk about the future of aviation communication?
Exactly. Passion is contagious.
It is.
And it makes a lasting impression.
So how can you showcase that passion?
I think being able to talk about what drew you to this field in the first place is a good start.
Yeah, what excites you about aviation communication?
What gets you fired up about this work?
Is it the challenge of keeping those critical communication lines open? Is it the opportunity to work with cutting-edge technologies?
Maybe it's the impact this role has on safety and efficiency in the skies.
Right.
Whatever it is, let that passion shine through in your answers. And I think it's important to go beyond just answering the questions they ask.
Okay.
Show them you've been thinking about the bigger picture.
Right. Remember how the career guide talked about the aviation industry constantly evolving?
Yes.
You could bring up some of the trends you're excited about and how you see yourself contributing to their implementation.
Like, for example, have you been reading about space-based ADS-B?
Oh, yeah.
The technology could revolutionize air traffic management, or maybe you're interested in the potential of AI in optimizing communication networks.
Absolutely.
Sharing those insights shows them that you're not just looking for a job. You're looking to be a part of shaping the future of the industry.
You're invested.
And remember, an interview is a two-way street.
It is.
It's a chance for you to learn more about the company and see if it's the right fit for you.
That's right.
So come prepared with some thoughtful questions that show you've done your research and that you're genuinely interested in the role and the company's mission.
For example, you could ask about their current communication infrastructure, their plans for future upgrades, or the biggest challenges they're facing in their communications operations.
Asking those kinds of questions demonstrates your initiative, your curiosity, and your commitment to finding a role where you can truly make a difference.
Exactly.
Now, I've heard this advice before,
Okay.
and I think it's worth repeating. When you're answering questions, don't just give a list of facts and figures.
Right.
Tell a story.
A story.
A good story can make your answers more memorable and help you connect with the interviewers on a personal level. Weave in anecdotes from your past experiences. Share stories that highlight your skills and problem-solving abilities. Let your personality shine through.
Well, it shines.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive,
We have.
and I hope you're feeling more confident and prepared for your interview.
I hope so, too.
Remember, you have the skills, the experience, and the passion to succeed in this role.
Absolutely.
So leverage those RoleCatcher resources. Practice your answers, showcase your enthusiasm, and go make a lasting impression.
Best of luck with your interview. We're confident you're going to soar.
And that wraps up this episode of The Deep Dive.
It does.
We hope you found it helpful. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.